Hello everyone, myself Shivam Adesha. I'm a software engineer at ServiceNow. Today we will start with the introduction to database course. Before we start, I just want to have you very clear understanding that database is a very wide topic. As the part of first of this video series, we'll be primarily discussing on the overview around the what are the key basic aspects around the SQL queries, around the entity relational model. So this is something that we will be discussing around as a first part, and then in the second part of the series we will be having things around the normalization and so on. So I'll list down all the parts that we'll be discussing, and each of the significance and a very surface and broad overview. And yeah, so DBMS, as we know, database management system, is like how we are managing our database. What are the tools that we are using? What are the database altogether we are using? So in this series, the very first thing that we will see is what is a database? Like what what is a database? Why it came into existence? What are the different types of the database? And which to prefer in which of the use cases. So these are something that we will cover in the first part. The second part we will see around the models and architecture. So when I say the model, there are many number of models based on the type of database that you are working on. For example, if you're working in a tabular form of database, something like you see the MS Excel. So this is something which is following the entity relational model. You might also have the models like the graphical representation, the hierarchy based representation. Then you will be also having the database which is more like a graphical notation. So if I say this is primarily used as part of the social networking site, like FB for example. This is very widely used, and we will discuss on all these parts in detail. Hierarchy is when something you can aggregate at a like bottom up approach. So we will see even that what are something like bottom up and specialization, aggregation, and generalization, all those parts. The third aspect that we are working on is the entity relational model, like I mentioned. So there are many jargons here around the entity, around the relation, the attributes, keys, and many more things that we will discuss, and we will go through in detail on those parts. I will say this is slightly important compared to the first two. The fourth one is again more important than the third itself, like the SQL query. You will understand that when we have reached till this point, you will understand that whenever it comes the relational database, the which we in short call the RDBMS, the relational database, which is showing the entities in the relational format, like the tabular format. You need to write the SQL queries so to fetch the data to perform all the operations here. So understanding of the SQL queries and its respective clause like select, from, where, and so on, and even understanding of the subqueries like and maybe even the sets, that we will go through all these things in detail. And again, as I mentioned, this is important that we need to understand. Now these four topics that we have seen, these four comprise the part 1 of this video series, which we define as the basic part. This is very much on a basic part, but again, this is not the end, this is not the exhaustive list. There are many more important, and I would say even important than SQL, which will be following further. Just to list down, I will write what all things are there, what are its use cases, but as part of the first video series, we will be just covering this basic part. The fifth very important part comes around the normalization. It's completely okay if you're not getting anything like what a model means, what architecture means, what does this ER means, entity relation, and what is altogether a SQL means. This, it might happen that if you are hearing this first time, it's completely okay. We'll go through each and everything in detail. Coming to the explanation on the normalization, imagine that you have two tables. Table 1 is containing the student information and table 2 is containing the course information. So it could happen that let's say there are two particular columns here and two particular columns here which is having the similar data. So when I say similar data, that means this is having the students data, this is having their class data. Similarly, this is having student data and this is having the class data, and the rest of one would be having the age data, this might be having the course ID data. So I would say that tomorrow, if I need to update the data of a particular student for a particular class, I need to go on updating it here, and even it could be n number of tables having similar structure. So rather than going on writing it, what we do as part of normalization is we break down this particular section, which particular column of a table and this particular column of a table into a separate entity, so that I need not to go on updating this and all this once again and again, means like updating this one and so on for all the tables. We will just update it here, and all these will be referring to this data. So it will reduce our redundancy to a larger extent, and also so even there is many disadvantage also of performing this. Like one of the disadvantages is around the time. Now your time will increase because the data is not only present here, but also data is distributed in other tables also. So the lookup time increases. So we will see that what does a normalization means, why it came into existence, what are the advantage and disadvantage, and so on. But again, this is very important part, normalization, and very frequently asked in the interview to write to normalize it into 1NF, 2NF, 3NF, 4NF, 5NF, and even up to the BCNF. To understand that, even also we need to understand the functional dependency. What does functional dependency, partial dependency, and those things mean? The sixth part is around the transaction. As I was mentioning, like transaction, if you understand it from a perspective of a banking industry, think good of as like State Bank of India. A State Bank of India is having an account of person A and a person B. Now there is some, let's say 500 rupees transaction happening from person A to person B. Now if I have, let's say, person C, person D, and person E, they are trying to access the account balance of person A for some XYZ reason. So even this CDE could be different portal, like this could be an Amazon, this could be, let's say, Flipkart, and the other one could be Big Basket, for example. So they are trying to access that what is current person A balance, so that I can operate upon that. But if this person is making a transaction of 500, then if we don't perform the right transaction, then it could happen that Amazon, Flipkart, and Big Basket are having the inconsistent data. So we will see in the transaction that why this all things are very important and how to exactly perform the right way of transaction. So here we will see what does a state mean, like how to recover if any transaction fails. Even these are recoverable or non-recoverable transaction, and even there will be many more. We will also see the ACID property, which is again very common being asked in the interview. I would say this again is important. The seventh and the last important part is the concurrency control. when I say concurrency control, it might happen that there is some centralized database and there are thousands of people trying to access this data. Now, if there is some particular entity and 1,000 people are accessing particular data, you cannot perform that 1,000 at the same time. So though the operation is not scheduled, but with the proper scheduling mechanism, you schedule these operations in the right order and also with the proper fallback mechanism. So here we will see the different locking mechanism, like a different locking system, like lock based protocol. Then we will also see timestamp based protocol and so on. Here we will also come across the cases of the deadlock, the starvation and so on. So I will say this again will be very important and very exciting topic to discuss, but we will discuss this as part of the part 2 of the video series, which is the slightly on an advanced section. The last is something which I've kept as part of the miscellaneous. Here we will be looking at what does a blob clob mean, like what does a hashing internally do around the collisions and all, what does a B plus tree mean. So these are some of the things which we will go through as part of this entire course. I'll just again walk through the entire thing. The first very part we will see is what does a database mean, why we are altogether using a database over the file system, what are different types of database. Second, we will see around the models and the architecture, what are different models we have, what are the different architecture like something an n-tiered, or maybe this is called a 3-tier architecture. What does a 3-tier architecture altogether mean? Why there is something like a client server and not directly client interacting with the database. Then we will see around the ER model, which includes the entity, around the relation, around the different tuples, rows. There are many jargons that we will come across. Just sit back and just listen. It will be very interesting and very helpful, especially from the interview perspective, to go through all these things. Then we will see the SQL queries. Here we will come across the many of the select from where these clauses, and then it will be again very much useful. Then we will see around the normalization, why normalization is altogether required, what is the use cases of this normalization, and so on. Further, we will go ahead with the transactions, how to perform a right way, means what is the right way of performing the transaction, what are different states. So like there is a state by read and write, for example, what are recoverable, what are non-recoverable transaction, what does the ACID property of a transaction means. In the 7th part, we will see around the concurrency control. That means how to perform the concurrent transaction in a proper scheduled manner, like what all lock you need to implement, and how to implement, how to put a lock, how to remove the lock, and so on. And as part of the last thing, we will just see the miscellaneous one, that what is a clob, blob, and the hashing, the B plus tree. The B plus tree means, and even the file recovery system, and so on. Even there is a blocking factor. So there will be many other things again from the interview perspective required. And also these the advanced part will be very much required for people looking into the backend role.